This week on TechRap, days into 2013 and rumors of the iPhone 6, Galaxy S4, and a new Lumia phone surface. Ubuntu joins the mobile phone operating system race with its own smartphone OS. And we ask our favorite tech experts to tell us what to expect in 2013.
Happy New Year, everyone! I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap. Barely a week into 2013, and we already have a lot to report. First off, Google's Android and Apple's iOS will soon have to compete with a new player in the mobile phone OS space. This week, the makers of the popular Linux-based operating system Ubuntu announced their own mobile phone OS.
Everything is gesture-based in the Ubuntu Mobile Phone OS. There's no lock screen. Instead, you get what they call a welcome screen that's unique to you, where you can swipe from each edge to reveal certain functions. For example, swipe from the left to access your favorite apps, from the top to access search, recent messages, and/or settings depending on where you pull from, and from the right to move between active applications. Users of the Samsung Galaxy Nexus will soon be able to flash their Android OS and replace it with an Ubuntu OS. But devices running the new operating system won't ship till 2014.
Just days before the kickoff of one of this year's biggest tech events, the Consumer Electronics Show, or CES in Las Vegas, rumors of the latest smartphones begin to leak online.
The Next Web reports that developers have begun noticing the identifier iPhone 6 and iOS 7 in usage logs. The logs are said to originate from an IP address on Apple's Cupertino campus, suggesting that Apple is already testing the new devices. Sam Mobile releases a leaked photo from an insider at Samsung. The device in the photo looks similar to a Samsung Galaxy S3, but without a physical home button and with what looks like a larger screen. Could this be the Samsung Galaxy S4? Not to be outdone, Nokia is reportedly working on a new line of Lumia Windows phones for 2013. The Verge reports that sources inside the company say a successor to the Lumia 920, codenamed Catwalk, will come with an aluminum casing.
This January, also expect the release of Microsoft Surface Pro tablet and a new line of BlackBerry OS X smartphones. Will 2013 see the demise of text messaging? With more users on smartphones, users are turning to apps like WhatsApp to send and receive messages. On the last day of 2012, a record-breaking 10 billion messages were sent and received using the popular service. And let's not forget about Facebook's attempt to hijack that space with its own standalone app, Facebook Messenger. This week, Facebook releases an update to the app allowing iOS and Android users to send and receive voice messages.
Facebook Messenger version 2.1 for iOS and 2.2.4 for Android were released January 3. Aside from sending messages and photos, users can now record and send voice notes. To access the feature, click on the plus sign beside the right message box and hit record voice. Press and hold the record button when you release, the message is sent. You don't get the ability to preview the voice recording before sending, but it's a start. The user on the other end will get the message on both his or her mobile phone or web browser. A few weeks back, Facebook rolled out a new feature that made it easier for users to upload photos to their timelines. Previously, a minimum of 6 clicks was needed to get the job done. You'd have to click Photo, upload photos or video, browse to a folder where your images are stored, highlight the images you'd like to upload, click Open, and then click Post. Now, all you have to do is drag and drop the photos into your publishing box, and then hit Post. You also have the option to add more photos before you hit the Post button. But do note that if you want to place your photos in an album, you still have to do it the old way. Once posted, the photos appear on your timeline like any regular post.
There's no doubt about it. We have a big year of tech ahead of us. What's on the horizon? Well, we asked some of our favorite tech experts to look into their crystal balls, and here is the 2013 they see.
Hey everyone, I'm Timothy Go, host of That's IT on Channel News Asia. This year, I think we'll see more automakers rolling out smart cars. I heard some companies are investing on technology for connected cars. that will have sensors to alert cars of dangers ahead. So imagine this, cars on a potential collision path wirelessly communicating with each other and sending their drivers danger warnings, perhaps even automatically slowing the cars down or stopping to avoid accidents. We'll also start seeing cars that will integrate more with our smart mobile devices beyond the Bluetooth hands-free connection we now have. We might soon be able to also dictate tweets while driving or send text messages without breaking the law. And what about using your phone to locate your car in massive parking lots when you forget where you park? Yep, I'm sure connected car innovations will become common this year.
2013 is going to be a very exciting year for the tech industry. First of all, we will start to see a lot of flagship handsets with full HD 1080p resolution, screen sizes of around 5 inches and higher. Second, the tablet market is going to be more dominant and will catch up with second generation handset users. You will see full HD resolutions, quad-core processors, LTE connectivity, and bigger storage between 64 to maybe 128 gig of internal storage. Lastly, we will see the ultrabook market becoming more mainstream with more affordable prices, ranging between 25 to 30,000 pesos.
Hi, I'm Magdal Gabot, a reviewer for the website technoodling.net. For one thing, I think 3D will be a big thing, even bigger in 2013. We saw it in 2012 already, and I think more movies will have it, TVs will adopt it, even computers and tablets will also probably have 3D now. We'll also have improved touch controls for laptops and tablets too. There's this new device called the Leap Motion. It's a small gadget that converts your computer to touch control, and that looks very promising. Apple would probably debut an iPad mini with Retina display, and even MacBook Airs. And it's also likely for them to introduce later in the year maybe the Apple Television, the much wanted and awaited technology. We'll also see updates to game consoles, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox 720 I guess, a better Wii U, PlayStation Vita, Nintendo 3DS, better games. There'll also be smaller, better phones with faster 4G. Or maybe conversely, bigger and better phones like the Galaxy Note, for example. Cameras will also improve. We'll see a smaller Lightro camera probably this year. The one with adjustable focus. 2013 will be an exciting year for improvements in many of today's technologies. And I, for one, will be waiting right there with you.
It's time to dig into our TechRap mailbag and answer a question. This one comes from Edith Carabin via email, and she asks, where can I buy a laptop that has a screen size of 16 to 17 inches? What are the minimum specs that I should buy if my work requires me to open 12 to 15 tabs all at the same time? Well, Edith, and everyone out there looking for a computer, the best place to start I'd recommend is Gilmore at Vera Mall in Green Hills or at SM Mega Mall Cyberzone. Each of these places has rows and rows of computer shops with a great selection, and I'm sure you can find a 17-inch laptop that fits your requirements there. Now, if we're talking about computer specs, and I know that multitasking is very important to you, I look out for 3 things. Number 1, processor speed. If you can afford it, I'd go for an Intel i7 processor or an Intel i5 processor, whatever you can afford, but the higher the number, the better. So go for an Intel i7 if you can afford it. Another spec that you need to look into is RAM. Go for about 8 gigabytes. I know you mentioned in your email that you're into gaming as well, so go for a minimum of 8 gigabytes of RAM. And last but not the least is a spec that a lot of people take for granted. It's the speed of your hard drive. Now, normally you can get a hard drive with about 5,400 RPM, but look for something a little bit faster. 7,200 RPM is what I recommend. And again, if you can afford it, go for a laptop with a built-in SSD or a solid-state drive. That will be faster, it'll spin faster, and it will affect the speed of your computer a lot. Have a tech question that you'd like me to answer? Well, send me an email at techrap@rapper.com or a message on Twitter using the hashtag TechRap. And that was TechRap. For news and updates, don't forget, follow Raptor.com on Twitter and like us on Facebook. CES starts January 8th, so we'll cover all the big announcements for you on next week's show. Till then, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.